everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video this morning. I hope you're doing really great, and we're going to be talking about what is happening across the Caribbean. So first, we'll be talking about all of the shaking going on across some areas. There has been some earthquakes since last night and into today, so we'll be talking about those, after which we'll move on to what is going on as it relates to weather conditions. So kickstarting with the earthquakes. Last night there was a 4.9, an estimated magnitude 4.9 quake just offshore of Guadeloupe, as we can see, in Antigua Barbuda. The good news, this is offshore, so the epicenter of it was in the Atlantic Ocean and not in the Caribbean Sea, and it happened at around 10 p.m. local time, so that is a pretty moderate shaking there. And then 3:48 this morning, there was another shaking, the strongest shaking between then and now, as of right now when I'm recording, a 5.2 earthquake within that same general area. Again, the epicenter offshore, but it's likely that it's been felt across Guadeloupe, and even for Antigua and Barbuda, maybe even other areas felt a little shaken. Thankfully, this is offshore because, I mean, that's the hour when most of us are in La La Land sleeping. And then this morning again at around 5:29, not too long after that 5.2, there was a 4.5 within the same area. So 5:29 a.m., a 4.5 earthquake. Now, an increase in seismic activity, it can mean that something bigger, a bigger seismic event could be on the horizon. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that a big earthquake is imminent. So really, when there is an increase in all these earthquakes, it is good to be vigilant, because it is possible that we could see something larger. Similar story for Jamaica. In the last 3 months, there have been multiple earthquakes happening across the island, the same general area in eastern Jamaica, Portland. So there is a possibility that something bigger could be on the horizon, and these could be precursors, but at the same time, that does not necessarily have to be the case. And also, there is a very common myth that, smaller earthquakes happening, that simply means that they're releasing all that energy to prevent a big one. That is not true. That's a very common myth, but if that was the case, that means the many precursors we have seen to large earthquakes over magnitude 7 point this, 7 point that, they wouldn't have happened if that was the case, where those small earthquakes mean that a bigger one is not coming. That's not necessarily true, guys. Again, there have been a couple of earthquakes within that same area. Also, for the Dominican Republic, the southeastern part of the island, there was a 4.3 earthquake at around 2:05 a.m. this morning local time there. So we can see that the Caribbean is seismically active, and this is not something new. There are a lot of fault lines running through here and there and everywhere, so it is not uncommon to experience earthquakes. But at the same time, we definitely have to be vigilant and not take that to say, okay, nothing major is coming, because it always happens. There could be nothing major, which would be best case scenario, but at the same time, there should always be vigilance whenever there is an increase in seismic activity. So please stay safe, guys. And of course, I'll be keeping you posted on what is happening across the region. Now, let's head on to weather activity. Here we are looking at the satellite imagery. A lot is going on across portions of the southeast U.S. Some areas experiencing some severe weather, and there has probably been some flash flooding as well across some areas, especially as we look to states such as southeastern Louisiana, going to the Florida Panhandle, and even into other states as well. So please stay safe if you're being affected by that. And then as we zoom to the Caribbean, much is not happening. So that drier pattern has definitely set up, but there's likely to be some showers moving through some areas as we head through today. And we can see that as we take a look at the rainfall forecast map from the Euro model. Of course, as we head more toward those yellows, oranges, reds, that is an increase in how much rainfall is expected. So generally around 1/4 of an inch or less with those green shadings. And we can see that there are a lot of green shadings around parts of the Caribbean, the eastern islands. We can see some of those yellows for parts of Trinidad. So some areas may experience some heavy downpours at times. Similar story over in Central America and parts of Northern South America, especially near the coast of Colombia. But across most other areas, there's not likely to be a whole lot of rainfall activity as we head through today's. For example, much of Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, and even sections of the Bahamas as well. ABC Islands, there may be some rainfall activity within the area, but not a guarantee that you guys will receive anything substantial. So that is what I wanted to share with you in this update. Again, please stay safe amid all these seismic activity going on, and I will be keeping you posted. So that's it for now, and I hope you found this video to be quite informative. But if you have any questions, as always, please leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I get the chance to do so. And remember to always be weather-wise.